All right, good Saturday evening, everyone. Meteorologist Jordan Evans here, live on our 7 News YouTube and Facebook page, just for a quick update as we gear up for our hottest temperatures so far this year, the first heat wave of the season, and really to kick off summer, which started yesterday. Technically, summer is coming in hot, literally with temperatures upper 90s, close to the century mark. We may even get there by Monday and Tuesday. Here's a look at the next 7 days as we go forward. We're going to show you the high temperature and then the maximum heat index value that is forecast for a lot of us in the region. I would say give or take a degree or two, depending on where you are. Some of the elevation change, of course, can contribute to higher or lower heat index values. But overall, you get the idea. The triple digit feels like temperatures start tomorrow. Then it's 105 to 110 Monday and Tuesday. Even Wednesday, some spots could be up to 105 or more. Then Thursday, Friday, temperatures slowly start to come down. We'll introduce some storm chances by the end of the work week. But definitely the heat is going to mean business. Our first time seeing likely triple digit heat this year. It's been a while since we did it. Obviously, we had it last year a couple of times, but it's been a while. Again, so far have not seen 100 degrees. In fact, we haven't even had that many 90-degree days. It took us to the month of June to finally get our first 90-degree day. And it looks like we may get our first 100-degree day of the year ahead of schedule for late June as well. Feel free to chime in on YouTube, Facebook comment section. I'll try to get to some of those as we go throughout this live stream. We'll keep it about 10 minutes or so, again, as we continue to track some of this dangerous heat that's building in. Let's take you to the map. We'll start off with the heat alerts. Get ready to see these on repeat. You open that weather app on your smartphone. You'll see either heat advisory or extreme heat watch, and then eventually you'll see extreme heat warning, especially here in DC as we get to Monday and Tuesday, because that watch will get upgraded to the warning as we go for the next couple of days beyond Sunday. Again, temperatures climbing even more. So tomorrow, the advisory, it's Luray, Winchester, Martinsburg, Hagerstown, Cumberland, Maryland, parts of the panhandle of West Virginia, even Woodstock, Shenandoah County there. That's from noon until 8 o'clock, so really the hottest time of the day. Definitely limit your time outside if you plan to be outdoors tomorrow. It's the weekend, of course, and some of the hiking or some of the winery visits out there around parts of Western Virginia and West Virginia. We'll want to exercise some extra caution out there. Just limit time outdoors because the heat index could be as high as 103 in some of those counties there. Fast forward to Monday. Here's the extreme heat watch. So this will go into an extreme heat warning as we go into Monday. So the dark red here will change to magenta. That's the color that the National Weather Service uses for the extreme heat warning. Starts at 11 o'clock Monday morning, goes all the way until 9. So basically that 10-hour window where the heat index could be anywhere from 105 to 110. Of course, it will likely peak around 3 or 4 o'clock. That is typically the hottest time of the day, so 5 or 6 p.m. Leaving work, of course, Monday, Tuesday, it's going to be quite toasty out there as these temperatures, they're going to peak during the late afternoon, early evening. So this will likely get extended to Tuesday. It may happen again on Wednesday as temperatures again look to stay pretty high, at least through midweek, and then they'll slowly start to come down as we go into Thursday and Friday with the storm chance. So heat risk map, this also comes from the National Weather Service. It takes into account a lot of different factors. Of course, humidity, that's what generates the heat index. We've got to look at the wet bulb temperature, which is a more accurate reading of basically how our body reacts to the heat. And a lot of athletes and sports teams will use that wet bulb temperature to determine whether it's safe to have practice outside or not. Even if there is practice happening Monday or Tuesday, likely not, because the extreme heat risk is going to be maxing out the scale to start the week. So we have Monday there with the extreme category. Tuesday, it's another one with extreme heat risk. And even Wednesday, DC, Baltimore still going to have some of that extreme heat risk. But I do think by Thursday and Friday, in fact, we can pull it up here, we are likely to start making some improvements as we track the rest of this heat wave going through Thursday into the end of the week. Likely with the humidity and the storm chances returning, Thursday, Friday, temperatures will start to come down as we go into the end of the week. So some safety reminders here. Heat tips, again, heat safety, really. Heat is actually the #1 weather-related killer. There are more deaths in the U.S. every year just from heat itself, outside of hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods. Heat is the #1 related killer for the U.S. that has been or has held first place for quite some time, according to the National Weather Service. So heat really does need to be taken seriously. Stay hydrated, of course, and that should say hydrated. basically, even with hot temperatures, drink more water than you typically do, because being outside will definitely drain your body from all that water faster. Exercising in the morning, staying in the shade, the air conditioning, taking frequent breaks. Again, if you have to be outside, frequent breaks, seeking those cooling stations. The DC area has probably got plenty of them open already, and I think more will continue to open up as we go out throughout the rest of the week. And even like light colored, loose fitting clothing, that is really going to help out, again, with not having dark colored clothing, because that is what causes even hotter feelings, or even makes you feel hotter, I should say, because that sunlight absorbs, or at least the dark colored clothing can absorb the sunlight a little more and trap some of that heat. So light colored, loose fitting clothing if you need to be outside. I think really the big thing is just limit your time outside during the late afternoon, especially. That's the hottest time of the day. Heat stroke signs. These are always important to remember. We don't, of course, want to see anyone suffer from heat stroke, but if you are likely seeing that, or have signs of someone's potentially suffering from heat stroke, symptoms include throbbing headache, feeling dizzy, very hot but not sweating, maybe nausea, vomiting, or feeling disoriented. Any of that, call 911 immediately, because it can turn deadly. Heat stroke can be fatal quickly too if it's not taken care of. So again, some good reminders as we go throughout this hot week here. Beach forecast for tomorrow, Sunday, 84 in Ocean City, so about 10 degrees cooler than what DC will see. And Rehoboth Beach, Bethany Beach, also in the upper 80s, even low 90s, it looks like. It's a little hotter there at the Delaware area. Bethany Beach and Rehoboth, and that UV index anywhere from a level 9 to a level 10. So burn time easily, 10 to 15 minutes on unprotected skin. All right, next 7 days, let's lay it out. Temperatures here, upper 90s. Low 100s, so likely the century mark there Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday, it'll be a close call at 99 degrees. And then Thursday, Friday, finally get some moisture in here. That's going to help out the temperature. However, the severe weather chances may increase, of course, with all the heat and humidity. And if we can get a front to come in, that may act as another forcing for the storms to go off, like we saw last Thursday, of course, with all the wind damage that we saw across the area. More heat and humidity can act as more fuel for strong thunderstorms. So again, keep that in mind for Thursday, Friday. But the focus still, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, really all those days that you see that heat alert, heat index anywhere from 97 to 100, and then as high as 105 to 110 by Monday and Tuesday afternoon. Again, that storm chance comes Friday and Saturday, so hopefully we'll finally get some relief in here. But even then, welcome to summer. We're going to finish off June pretty hot, and even July may start pretty hot as well. Some of the short-term data, at least as we get closer to the 4th of July, suggests maybe some pretty hot temperatures around the DMV toward the 4th. So we'll continue to monitor that closely. That is it from the First Alert Weather Center here. I'll be back on at 10, 11 o'clock. Of course, we've got some of the breaking news coming out now, so we may have to adjust some of our timing with updates tonight. But again, you get the idea. Pretty warm days ahead, very hot days ahead, dangerous heat on the way. And you know it's pretty hot too when those low temperatures at night. Look at Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday. Mornings starting off at 80 to 81 degrees, so not much heat relief at night, thanks to the urban heat island. So in DC, some of the urban areas, it's going to feel even warmer as temperatures, again, just can't cool off with the urban heat island. And when we have temperatures in the afternoon, anywhere from 98 to 101 degrees. All right, that'll do it for us here on Facebook and YouTube. Again, I'll see you back on the air tonight. Meteorologist Mark Pena will be in tomorrow morning to give you more updates, any fresh data, if we can adjust some of these temperatures, hopefully in the downward direction. Otherwise, I'm back here tomorrow night, and it's a new week once we get into Monday as we continue to go through this heat alert.